starting your journey to financial freedom. Now. You're listening to the New Investor Podcast.
This is the Young Investor for the New Investor Podcast, and let's have a quick look on the markets and fluctuations in the last few days following the quarterly earnings, especially for two of my companies in my portfolio, JP Morgan Chase and Bank of America. There was little movement despite both banks beating expectations. You might wonder why a stock would drop or stagnate even after the company releases most positive quarterly performance against expectations, which was the case for both banks as well. Now, I did not see any significant upside in the last 2 days regardless, and this is probably due to most probably two things. One, the banks had a history already of a consistent growth, and the investors probably expected more than a small beat. JP Morgan Chase beat estimates by 0.33 cents EPS, which is earnings per share, and Bank of America beating estimates by 0.03 cents. So it is not much of a beat, and that's why most probably the stock price did not see a major bump. Other aspects of the performance respectively for JP Morgan Chase cutting their 2019 forecast by $500 million, and Bank of America missing on their top line revenues despite scoring a very good profit this quarter. Now, while the results were good with a very healthy year-on-year growth for both banks, the performance was not judged as exceptional to drive the stock price substantially upwards. However, I see all this as a good indicator, and if banks are performing well, it does mean the dynamics of the economy are currently favorable for more growth short, medium term. This is how I see it. Now, Microsoft and Apple are up next. I look forward to see how the tech sector performed last quarter. In our intent as young investors to build solid foundations towards financial success and freedom, we are to look into all possible ways to open new streams of income, as we have already substantially covered in the past days. Now, as already detailed, there are different income streams you can work on developing practically immediately, from interest loans to individuals or companies in the form of bonds, dividends from investments or partnership, capital gains from a sale of an investment, royalties from the sale of a product or a license, rental income from real estate, or income from your business, ideally passive, of course. Now, here is where I stand. I am detailing here the foundations I have already put in place on which I will need to work very hard to grow, but I believe it is important to start on them even if you are at a skeleton level. So capital gains so far is checked for me with my current investments on the stock market, which should I actually sell all of my holdings or sell a few, I would have created income through capital gains. Dividends as well, dividend income is checked with my current investments as well, creating dividend income streams every quarter from these stocks. Now, there are obviously a few more, but I wish to talk about a new one I'm working on, which is the royalties income stream, and how easy it is nowadays and for you to establish its foundation. Now, I take a lot of notes. I put down on paper a lot of my ideas regarding what I am passionate about. I developed a technical understanding on these passions, and I realized, I started even a podcast, and I realized over time that I may have had enough to put all of this into form and publish a book. Now, I am certain you as well would be more than able to talk and write about your passions for hours. So I have not done something exceptional here. Now, you most probably will tell me that you're no writer and can't possibly imagine being a published author. Well, me too, but you would be thrilled to learn that we're no longer living in the 90s and publishing a book or creating a product that can be done in a few days, provided you have put all of your stories together or product concept together. So how did I do it? Don't forget that we are laying foundations for royalties income, but in this particular case, never write your book with that intent being first on your agenda. Share your passions first. Royalties may come in or not. It will all depend if it is any good anyway. For each of the points I will list you here, you can find freelancers online that can help with the project. They are all have a high level of expertise. You will need to allocate a little bit of money, of course. This is an investment. So one, put all your story together. Yes, put in the hours, write 1,000 words a day. To have it edited and proofread by a professional. You can even ghostwrite it, but that costs much more. You can have it done for less than $100. I'm talking about the proofreading here. Design a great book cover by a professional designer. You can have this done superbly for $50. Start self-publishing. Kindle Direct Publishing by Amazon is a great first step. It is completely free. My book is called Becoming an Investor, the first 100 days, and the second one of that series is coming soon. Then you will need to price your book. I priced mine at 0.99 cents, less than $1, which is the lowest you can price on Amazon. It is, less than $1 is basically free, right? Then you click publish and you're done. Obviously, you will need to do some research on book marketing and promote it, etc. Again, put in the work. I am already writing my second one. Keep them coming. As you could probably judge, it is very easy now to put any of your ideas or product out there and market them. It will, however, require you to execute on that idea first, and therefore I will question you. How far are you willing to go to reach your objectives? Now, I wish you a fantastic and creative day ahead. Thank you for listening to the podcast, and I really hope that it brings you some additional support on your own journey towards financial freedom. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to never miss an episode, and looking forward to your DM and follow on Instagram at New Investor Podcast. In the meantime, stay invested, be patient, and keep playing the long-term game.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.